Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining St. Thomas More as we present the Stations of the Cross with our Life Team program here. We hope you're well. During this Stations of the Cross, we want to pray for all of our young people, from the kids in REP and First Communion to those teens in confirmation and our young adults. The Stations of the Cross traditionally is a prayer that the church has given us to remember the sacrifice that Jesus made by taking us through those stages of his passion and death. During this time, we want to pray for, again, all of our young people, but also all those people that are making the world turn right now. All those in the hospitals, all those in the medical profession, all those that are grocery stores, all those delivering food. We're so grateful, and we want to pray for you today. In the Stations of the Cross, traditionally, after a reflection of each station, there is a response by the congregation. And what we wanted to do today was we wanted to sing a chorus of a song called Lead Me to the Cross. It's a timeless song during Lent, and it's something that we wanted to introduce you to. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to Jerry, and Jerry is going to show you the song, the chorus, and also we'll have the lyrics to the chorus posted onto this live stream so you can sing as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Jerry. Thanks for having me here today. I'm going to go ahead and just show you this chorus, this lyric from the song Lead Me to the Cross. Just really powerful. It goes like this. The first part goes, lead me to the cross, where your love poured out. And it says, bring me to my knees. Lord, I lay me down. Rid me of myself. I belong to you. Oh, lead me. Lead me to the cross. So I'm going to go ahead and just sing that once, and then, wherever you're at right now, just whether it's in your room or in, your house, wherever you're watching this, just kind of go ahead and just sing it and just recite this. Lead me to the cross where your love poured out. Bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down. Rid me of myself, I belong to you. Oh, lead me to the cross. So I'll go ahead and just sing that one more time as a way of just showing it to God. Lead me to the cross where your love poured out. Bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down. Rid me of myself, I belong to you. Oh, lead me to the cross.
And after we sing that chorus and we transition into the next Station of the Cross, we're going to go ahead and sing Jesus, Remember Me as we transition. So let's go ahead and open up in prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God, we thank you so much for this day. And God, we just ask you to call us deeper into this Holy Week, where for 2,000 years the church has remembered this event of you suffering and dying, but most importantly, rising for us. So God, we offer this time as STM, as a parish family, to you. We We ask God that during this time that you would quiet our nerves, calm our fears, and let us focus more on faith as we put our trust in you during the stations of the cross. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. The first station, Jesus is condemned to death. There you stand before the crowd after being beaten. You never deny yourself, yet humbly accept the punishment given to you by those who have witnessed your miracles. It's easy to look at this scene now and think, how could they accuse you? How could they accuse you and condemn you to death? All you did was love every person you ever met. Yet they are not alone in their condemnation of you. How often do I ignore you at school, in the person no one wants to talk to? How often do my words condemn you in a way I speak about others? It was not only the Jews and Pontius Pilate who condemn you, but I stand next to them shouting just as loud, "Crucify him." Jesus, forgive me for the way I condemn and pierce others with my words and actions. Help me to love like you and to learn from your example.
So go ahead and just sing this chorus.
You can't, once you're like,
Lead me to the cross where your love poured out. Bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down. Rid me of myself, I belong to you. Oh, lead me to the cross. Jesus, remember me when I come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when I come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
The second station, Jesus carries the cross. By now, you have endured a sleepless night, betrayal by your friends, and a beating that is too horrible to fully imagine. You've been whipped, stripped, and spit on by countless faces, some of whom last week treated you as royalty as you entered into the city. At one point, they chanted Hosanna, and the next point, they chanted Crucify him. And now, they hang you a cross to carry. The weight of it is far more than any number of pounds we can figure. For in carrying the cross, you carry the weight of our sins. How often do I forget that you carried the load for me? How often do I try to carry things on my own, not allowing you to help me? It was not only the sins of the world that you carried, but it was my sin, my selfishness, my pride, my anger. Each added more weight to the load. It was not only my sin that you carried step by step up towards Golgotha, the place of the skull, but everyone's. Jesus, help me to not forget the load that you carried for me. Give me the strength and courage to let go of those things that separate me from you.
Lead me to the cross where your love poured out. Bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down and rid me of myself. I belong to you. Oh, lead me to the cross. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
The third station, Jesus falls for the first time. As you walk through the narrow streets, every moment, every jolt burns and reopens your wounds. The pain along with the weight of the cross becomes too much, and you fall. In boxing, there is a term when a fighter falls and it's too beaten to continue. The fight is stopped by the referee, yet there is no one there to stop the battle that you fight for us. Even though you know what still lies ahead, you do not stop. And somehow, you find the strength to continue. How many times have I fallen in my walk? Too many to count, I'm sure. So many times when I fall, I don't feel like getting back up and trying again. There are too many temptations that I am faced with that feel too fun and easy to do because so many around me are doing them. Jesus, help me to remember your courage and your perseverance when you fell. Give me the courage to get back up when I fall. Help me remember that it is worth it to live as you lived.
And lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees. Lord, I lay me down and rid me of myself. I belong to you. Oh, lead me to the cross. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when we come into your kingdom.
The fourth station, Jesus meets his mother. Amid all the shouts and jeers from the crowd that moved like a wave in your mind as you struggle to remain conscious, one voice stands out. At first, it is so faint that you wonder if it's real. But then as your eyes meet and you see her face, you are not surprised that, like always, she is there for you. She has always been there for you. Her yes to the Father has been a light in the darkness. And now, here in your darkest hour, she is there. There are so many times when I feel alone in my struggles. It seems that no one understands what I am going through, especially my parents, but I realize they must. How many times have I hidden things from my parents out of fear of what they would say or what trouble I would be in when all they want to do is love me? Jesus, help me to remember that I am never alone in my struggles. Help me to see my parents as you saw yours. Help me to know their love for me. And when things are hard between us, help me to remember the light of your mother in my life.
and lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees. Lord, I lay me down, and rid me of myself. I belong to you. Oh, lead me and lead me to the cross. Jesus, remember me when we come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when we come into your kingdom.
The fifth station, Simon helps Jesus carry his cross. The soldiers who had beaten you all day had what appears to be a moment of compassion. Yet, instead, their selfish motives override their opportunity for charity. They only want to follow their orders to get you up and to place you where you will be crucified. How beaten you look, what they decide to do to grab Simon, a Cyrenian, out of the crowd to help you carry the cross. He follows behind you, walking in your steps, helping you move forward. You press on, knowing that the worst is yet to come. How often do I pass an opportunity to help someone in need? Do I let what others may think of me stop me from reaching out? Jesus, open my ears to hear the ways that you call me to serve. Help me follow Simon's example of helping others. Help me to know what it means to be a true and faithful servant.
Lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees. Lord, I lay me down, and rid me of myself. I belong to you. Oh, lead me and lead me to the cross. Jesus, remember me when we come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when we come into your kingdom.
The sixth station, Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. By now, the thorns cut so deeply into your head that even seeing where you should step next is almost impossible. Up to this point, all who approach you, other than your mother, either shout at you or spit in your face. As Veronica approaches, she walks differently than the others. As she reaches out her hands and wipes your face with her cloth, suddenly her face of compassion becomes clear. No words are necessary. Both your eyes say it all. For that moment, your dignity as a man is restored. How many times have I forgotten that each person is made in the image and likeness and therefore deserves my respect? Do I make others objects of my pleasure and ignore their humanity? Veronica courageously stepped forward and dared to treat you differently than everyone else. Could I do the same? Jesus, help me to see your presence in others. Give me the courage to follow Veronica's example of treating others with love, even when no one else does.
And lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees. Lord, I lay me down, and rid me of myself. I belong to you. Oh, lead me
The seventh station, Jesus falls the second time. The soldiers are enraged at you falling this time. They can't understand how Simon's help is not enough. In their anger, they hit you again and again before they remember that you have to be alive and crucified. The beating stops, but the shouts and taunts become louder and harsher. At this moment, you can stop this. You're the Messiah. You have the power to reveal yourself to everyone there. But you know that it would not fulfill all that is written about you. You know that you must be faithful to all of the Father's promises to his people. Remembering your love and your faithfulness, you get up. And now, with your wounds full of dirt and each step embedding it deeper and deeper, you keep going. How many times have I failed to follow through on my promises? Or worse yet, how often have I lied, even to people I care about? Do I remember your faithfulness, even when I fail? Jesus, help me to believe in your faithfulness and love for me. Give me the grace to follow through on my words to others. Help me to be a person of integrity.
Lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees. Lord, I lay me down. Rid me of myself, I belong to you. Oh, lead me to the cross. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when we come into your kingdom.
The eighth station, Jesus meets the women of Jerusalem. Their wailing sounds like a funeral. They cry and weep as if you are already dead. While air still passes through your lungs and your heart still beats, to them, you are dead. They know you are on your way to be crucified. And because of the beating you have endured, you have already looked like you should not be breathing at all. Yet this moment, consumed by death, you speak words of life and say, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me." Do I listen to your words in my life? How often have the things I've watched or listened led me away from you? Have I allowed the gospel of life to reign in my heart? Jesus, help me to listen to your words of life. Show me ways that I can put you first.
Lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees. Lord, I lay me down, and rid me of myself, I belong to you. Oh, lead me, and lead me to the cross. Jesus, remember me when we come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when we come into your kingdom.
The ninth station, Jesus falls for the third time. Again, you fall, this time from sheer exhaustion. Only your will presses you forward while your body refuses. How difficult it must be to be you, fully God and fully man, God knows that this has to be finished, and this is not yet complete. Man feels the excruciating pain, and every bone in your body wants to stop right there and move no further. Somehow both join together, and you muster the strength to get up. You vow not to fall again, because now you can see the place they are leading you to. You know the end is close, so you stand up and you press on. How many times have I let my flesh win over my spirit? How often have I chosen to sin rather than to follow your way? Was it my sin that became too heavy for you that caused you to fall this third time? Jesus, help me to follow your ways. Help me to remember your victory over my sin. Give me the grace to recognize when I sin and the desire to sin no more.
And lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees. Lord, I lay me down, and rid me of myself. I belong to you. Oh, lead me to the cross. Jesus, remember me when we come to your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
The 10th station, Jesus is stripped of his garments. In some ways to get to the point of relief because you know this is almost over. In other ways it is terrifying because you know the worst pain possible for man to endure is still waiting for you. By now, your bloodied cuts have dried into your garments. Because of this, they act as a layer of skin for you, since so little of your remains are intact. As the soldiers stripped you bare, it is not the nakedness that is painful, but rather the vicious tearing of your skin. The cuts had closed, now reopened, for once again a river of blood runs all over your body. You are stripped of your dignity as a man, for even animals are given swifter and less painful death. How often have I judged others by the way they look or by what they're wearing? Do I find my own self-worth and self-identity by the clothes I wear or how they look? Jesus, help me to look past the outside of others. Help me to not judge them by how they look or what they wear. Help me to find my self-worth and identity in you.
Lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees. Lord, I lay me down, and rid me of myself. I belong to you. Oh, lead me, and lead me to the cross. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
The 11th station, Jesus is nailed to the cross. Lying down on wood is not foreign to you. The first place you were laid when you came into this world was a wooden manger. There you were laid in love, and now it is out of the love that you lay here on this wooden cross. The soldiers pull your right arm out beside you, and then the horrific pain flows through your entire body. The nail pierces not only your hand, but also your whole body. The soldier pounds it in, only stopping to wipe your blood off of his own face. Again, the nail is driven into your other hand, and the pain jolts your entire body. Pain shoots up your legs as they nail your feet. In reflection, I am angered by the soldiers. I can't understand why they are doing this to you. And yet what is hardest to realize is that not only am I in the crowd watching all of this, but I am also one of them nailing you to the cross. How many times has my sin become a strike of the nail into your body? How often do I turn away from your mercy? Jesus, I am sorry for nailing you to the cross with my own sin. Help me to seek your forgiveness and mercy for the times that I sin.
And lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down, and rid me of myself, I belong to you. Oh, lead me to the cross. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
The 12th station, Jesus dies on the cross. Above your head is the inscription, King of the Jews. As you use every last ounce of life left in you to lift your body so that you can speak, you do not look the part, yet every word out of your mouth is one of love, truly from another kingdom. The faces of all humanity must flash before you, before your eyes, as one by one you recount whom you are doing this for. And finally you say, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. It is finished. You breathe your last, and it looks though this is the end. Jesus, help me to never forget your love for me. Help me to know that you died for me. Fill me with the comfort in knowing that my face was one that you saw, that my name was a name that you named. And help me to know that I never suffer, that you never suffer for anything.
And lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down, and rid me of myself, I belong to you. Oh, lead me, and lead me to the cross. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
The 13th station, Jesus is taken down from the cross. The first arms that held you in this world are now the last. Your mother was told a sword would pierce her heart the day she presented you as an infant to the Father. Now, as she holds your body that is mangled beyond recognition. She sees not only the man she holds, but she also sees the child she held, and her heart is pierced. Your comfort to her will become, but in this moment, she has only the Father to be with her in this sorrow and in her pain. All hope seems gone. How many times have I lost hope in you? How often have I doubted your ability to be God in my life over all things? Jesus, help me to trust in you. Help me to place all my hope in you. And give me peace in knowing that you are Lord over all things and all circumstances.
And lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down, and rid me of myself, I belong to you. Oh, lead me, and lead me to the cross. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
The 14th station, Jesus is placed in the tomb. You are laid to rest by Joseph of Arimathea, Mary Magdalene, Mary your mother, and a few other women. As your body is anointed, Mary Magdalene remembers your eyes penetrating her heart. Tears stream down her face, along with others there, as they too remember your love. They wrap your body in clean linens and lay it in the tomb. The stone is rolled over the entrance, and now surely it is the end. Up to this point, death had always been final. While those you have loved, while those you have lived with, laughed with, and cried with are in their heightened of sorrow, believing all this is over, you are conquering sin and death. How many times has death felt like the end? While I've lost a loved one, it can be so hard to remember your victory. How often do I miss the opportunity to say, I love you, to those special people in my life? Do my family and friends know how I feel about them? Jesus, help me always remember that death is not the end. Death is only a doorway into the eternal. Give me the strength to say the words, I love you, to those people in my life that I do love. Help me to love every person, not just in words, but also with my actions. Jesus, I love you, I need you, and I trust you. Amen.
And lead me to the cross where your love poured out, and bring me to my knees, Lord, I lay me down, and rid me of myself, I belong to you. Oh, lead me, and lead me to your heart, to your heart.
like to say thank you to all those that participated with us in this live stream of the Stations of the Cross. We know that right now times can be troublesome. They can be filled with fear. However, our faith is in the Lord. So we thank you again for participating in the Stations of the Cross. And as the whole world globally celebrates Holy Week, we wish you a prosperous Holy Week. It's true that this weekend we can't come into the Lord's house to celebrate Holy Week, but the good news is the Lord is going to come to our home to celebrate Holy Week. And we'll end in prayer. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, a world without end. Amen.